Hi painters, I'm Mrs. Shepbold. I'm going to go through your materials bag with you. You have a Ziploc with a number of materials. You need to hang on to these. You definitely have well over $10 of materials. Now you can keep them and bring a $10 check or money in, or you can return what you don't use at the end of the term. You also need to save a couple water containers. You're going to need these. I like having both big and small size. I ran mine through the dishwasher. Lids are nice too if you happen to have them. Okay, so you should have one set of nice watercolors. Some of these are used a little, but you're not going to use all of these. You should have a red, a yellow, and a blue. You should have this kind of brownish ochre yellow. You should also have at least one brown. We threw in a green just to be nice. And then there's a black. You should hardly use this one at all. Really, black doesn't need to get used much at all. I'm going to actually put those in my small container. Also in your bag, you have 4 brushes. Unlike the other group, they have 3. So I give you a very fine point one and then kind of a smaller middle round. And then I have a bigger flat and a big soft round. This is for your big washes. So those can be used both with acrylic and with watercolor. Personally, I like these synthetic brushes a lot. I think they clean up really nicely. So I'm going to leave those point side up in my taller container. It's really nice for storage. Also in your bag, we threw in a number 2 pencil. You'll have to sharpen that up yourself. I have a yellow colored pencil. That sounds weird, but it does a lot better at hiding when you're painting over it. You just don't want to press very hard when you're sketching. And then I have 4 highlighters, and that is when we do an abstraction exercise. I'm going to teach you about abstract art, and we're going to try some practices out. So those are going to come in handy later. They don't really need explanation right now. Also in your bag, you have 2 plates. You're going to frequently use those clamshelled together like this so that you can paint as a palette, and that is going to go and get stored inside your Ziploc. So your Ziploc is going to seal up and keep that paint good. You also have a paint palette like this for mixing. Now later on, if you're using acrylic and you want to keep that nice and ready to go for the next day, you can also get a sheet of wet paper towel and put it around that, and that will also seal in some more moisture inside this bag to keep the paint from drying out. This needs to be able to seal really well, just like that. If for some reason you don't have a good Ziploc, because we reuse these, ask me for one, send somebody my way, and I can get you a new one. We just have more gallon-sized Ziplocs, just came in the order this week. So put that someplace safe. That's your first bag of materials. Your second bag of materials, this is a little bit dangerous. You really want to put something down on the floor when you're working, because you don't want to get this on your mom or dad's flooring. Grandma, grandpa, whoever you live with will be upset at you if you get this on your floor. This will stain. Okay. You have a small black paint. You don't need much black. Black is hardly used in painting. You should have a yellow, a red, of course, and a blue. These are in the 3-ounce bigger containers. Got to have your primary colors. I throw in some green just to be nice for a little bit more variety. And you should have a bigger white. Now, if you run out of any of these, see me or email me and I will find a way to get you another container of any of these. If you run out of anything, it'll probably be the white. Now under the white, there should be 3 extra cups. This is for mixing more paint. If you have a big canvas, you want to cover a lot of that with a color, like say I'm making a lilac color, I can mix it and store it with these extra cups. Beyond this, you're going to have to wash these out and reuse them. Also in your bag, you should have another red tube of cadmium light red. You're going to notice quite a difference in color. I personally like these deeper reds than the lighter cadmium, but traditional artists like the light red. There should be a brown, and there's a couple different kinds of brown, either a sienna or an umber. And then there should be the raw umber, which is almost black, but it's a dark, dark brown. Okay, so that should be the gist of what's in your bag. Some of these may be cups, some of them may be tubes. The tubes, you're going to squeeze like toothpaste, where you squeeze them from the bottom, and then you roll up the end, okay? Just like your toothpaste at home, you don't want to squeeze from the middle, or you will be wasting a bunch of toothpaste, or excuse me, you'll be wasting a bunch of paint in the bottom. So you always work from the bottom up, rolling as you go. You won't need all of this paint through this turn. All right, so that is your paint bag. Put that someplace safe where nobody will mess with that. You should have a big cardboard tray like this. This is actually going to serve 2 purposes. Number 1, it's going to save all your materials and keep it organized. Number 2, this is going to be a canvas. This bottom is going to be a canvas for one of your projects. So again, don't ruin it, don't throw it away. It serves 2 purposes. So I'm going to put all my painting materials in here to keep them safe, for safekeeping for later. Now, sorry this video is long, you have the most stuff. In this big portfolio, which should say painting on it, you have a number of materials. You should have a big black sheet of paper. That's for one of your first paintings. These little ones go with it. You should have 6 little white pieces of paper. These are going to go on top of that black sheet together. In here, you should have your sketchbook. Very important, hang on to that. That has your pacing guide, your final exam rubric. It has a bunch of practice sheets we're going to work through. It has your syllabus and your work contract that you will get signed by this week. Principles of design. This is going to be one of our first activities. We'll go through this together. You should have 2 sheets of this. It's like poster board. It's called railroad board, okay? Bigger, heavier, it's glossy on one side, it's light on the other. There should be 1 sheet of light sulfite paper, okay? We're actually going to fold that in half, and this is going to be your sketchbook cover so that you can store your sketchbook in here. You will put on the front, nice and big, your class, which is painting. And then I'm going to put on here Mrs. Shadbolt, your name. And then put your hour. Okay. We're going to design the sketchbook out with at least 4 colors or values, front and back, designing it out, making it look nice. That's going to be due next week. And then your sketchbook can go in here at night. Also in here, you should have at least, let's see, yeah, 1, 2, 3 it looks like. Yeah, you should have 1, 2, 3 sheets of watercolor paper. And this is going to, these are going to be for your watercolor paintings, and we'll talk more about that later. But let's see, that should be everything. If you have 2 watercolor, that's fine. Maybe I got one by accident. It looks like it should be 2 watercolor sheets. That's a bonus. I got an extra sheet. So that should be everything in your portfolio. Keep it safe. It was good seeing you. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.